I have no hesitation in saying that the word Islam and the religion of Islam, this is a religion of peace and protection and security. And Islam as a deen pursues others to the path of peace and security, irrespective of their race, their color, their culture, their religion, their creed. Indiscriminately, equally for every single person belonging to the community of mankind. Islam stands for peace and security of every single soul on this earth. The most significant proof of this vision is that Almighty Allah has named this religion as Islam. Inna deena indallahi Islam. Almighty Allah has given the name of Islam to this religion. وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمُ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا وَسَمَّاكُمُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And the word Islam is derived from the Arabic root Salama and Salima, which means peace, security, safety, protection, tranquility, obedience and discipline. This is what the word Islam literally means. In going through the teachings of Quran and the traditions of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is very clear that Islam as a deen, as a religion, and the book of Quran as the main foundational document of Islamic teaching, and the Sunnah, the traditions, the record of the conduct and teachings of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, encourages humankind to be moderate, to be peaceful, to be kind, to be balanced, to be generous, to be patient, to be tolerant, to be forbearing, to be forgiving, to be soft. This is the whole theme of the meanings of this term, Islam. And Muslim is known to be someone, according to the traditions of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who embodies peace and security and tranquility and tolerance and peaceful coexistence and mutual efforts to protect rights of each other and rights of one another, irrespective of religion and culture. I'm talking of humankind at all levels, individually and collectively. There are 3 levels of Islam, and 3 different terms have been allocated and assigned by Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to these 3 levels. The first is Islam. Second and higher level is Iman. And the third and the highest level is Ihsan. There is no 4th level. The whole sum of the teachings of Islam falls within either of these 3 categories or either of these 3 levels. Islam is from Silm. It means peace. The higher level, Iman, faith. Iman is from Amn. Amn means peace and security. And the third and highest level, Ihsan. It is from Husn. Husn means beauty and perfection, and excellence of behavior, excellence of character. You see, all the three levels which comprise the deen of Islam, all of them, they stand for peace, they stand for security, they stand for peaceful coexistence, they stand for tolerance, they stand for balance, they stand for beauty, they stand for excellence of human morals. Now, coming to that aspect which I have already mentioned in the beginning of my talk, some misled people, youngsters, or the terrorists, those who indiscriminately murder people through bomb blasts, through suicide bombings, and through many other means, they have their case. And they argue that since the foreign powers of the non-Muslim countries, they say that they are doing their utmost to occupy Muslim lands. And since the Muslims have been subjected to war, and they are totally being suppressed in different parts of Islamic world, and because of this unjust aggression and oppression continuously being committed and performed by some Western powers, they say, because of this act, we are fully justified because the Muslim governments are not doing enough. They are not stopping them. The Muslim governments, according to them, seem to be their puppets. So they say that we are totally justified in adopting this path of terrorism. And whatever we are doing, maybe the land of USA, or the territory of Britain, or Europe, or Canada, or Western world, or Eastern world, and particularly now the Muslim countries too, even Pakistan. Whatever terroristic acts are being carried on, they say we are justified to do as a revenge. And this is our tactic. And then they give this whole phenomena, then they give it the name of jihad. Now here, I would humbly, as a humble servant of Islam, and as a humble student of Islam, I would like to explain to them, I would like to advise to them, and I would like to explain for the whole mankind that this argument is totally false argument. This is against the basic teachings of Islam. Even if we accept the totality of their perception as correct, whatever they perceive and say, as well as the factual position on the ground is concerned, if we take all of the whole thing as a fact, reality, even then I am saying this argument is false and against the basic teachings of Quran and Sunnah. On this particular point, my concern is, I have to be very clear, my concern is to clarify the situation of Islam. My concern is to clarify the beautiful, shining face of Islam. My concern is to clarify and explain in a true sense the teachings of the Quran and Prophet of Islam. And whatever misunderstandings, wrong interpretations, hijacking of Islamic terms and Islamic teachings has taken place, I want to take Islam back from those who have already hijacked. Islam belongs to Quran, and Islam belongs to Prophet of Islam. So we will take as a teaching of Islam what Quran will communicate to us. We will accept the teaching of Islam, what Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, has communicated and conveyed and commanded to us. So in this particular situation, even if this perception is taken as right and correct, even then Quran says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, La yajrimannakum shan'anu qawmin ala Allah ta'atilu. The divine injunction on this particular point is that do not let the hatred of a people, even if they have committed some wrong to you, even if they have unjust behavior, and they have stopped you to perform right things, even if they have stopped you to reach the Kaaba of Allah for ibadah and worship. So even if they are committing wrongs, and you have been wronged, and that's why the genuine hatred is coming up in your hearts against them. So Quran says, in spite of this fact, do not let the hatred of a people prevent you from being fair and just. Even in this situation, Islam does not allow a Muslim individual or a Muslim nation as a whole to be unjust and unfair. Even in a revenge, the basic principle of Islam is la ta'tal. You can't transgress the limits. So it is clearly stated that no group or no nation can be allowed to abandon justice and adopt oppression as a policy, as a revenge. You can't do oppression as a revenge to oppression. You can't do suppression as a revenge to suppression. You can't be unjust as a revenge to an unjust act. You can't be unfair as a revenge to an unfair act. This is why Holy Prophet ﷺ was raised for. And the basic form principle which has been established through Quran and Sunnah is that massacre of peaceful people, those who are non-combatants, those who are not practically involved and those who are not practically participating in warfare, and they are not fighting in the battlefield, those who are not practically engaged in the warfare, so those are known as non-combatant, the civilian people. Whether they are living here in USA doing their own jobs and works in Twin Towers or other offices, whether the Muslims they are going to the mosque, praying and offering their Jummah sermon and offering Jummah prayer, whether they are sitting in their embassies, wherever they are, all those people who are non-combatants, and non-combatants means those who are not practically engaged in a warfare, in a battlefield. They may belong to a state, to a country, who is at war with you. I am giving this with full responsibility, a jurisprudential basic principle of Islam, a juristic principle. Even they can belong to a country, they can be a member of a state, of a country, of a society, the country which is at war with you. And you are at war on some country.